Welcome to the 19th Annual J.A. Evansville Regional Business Hall of Fame. And here is your host, Brad Bird.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to welcome you to the 19th Annual Junior Achievement Evansville Regional Business Hall of Fame. We are truly honored to have you as our guests. Please continue to enjoy your breakfast as we proceed. I'm very humbled to serve as your Master of Ceremonies. It's been 19 years, and I've been here since the beginning. The thing that is central to what I have to say today is that this has been one incredible history lesson that I have received over the last 19 years, the history lesson of what made Evansville great and what continues to make Evansville great. It is also a salute to the most precious commodity we have here in our community. That's our young people, our future leaders. And without the hard work of the junior achievement of Southwestern Indiana, that would be a very tough mission. Today we have the privilege of recognizing our 2024 laureates whose dedication to servant leadership, igniting passion, and fostering significant change within our communities deserves our utmost appreciation. We are also grateful for our generous partners whose contributions have made this celebration possible. Our presenting partner is Old National Bank. Our diamond partners, Deaconess Health System, Liberty Federal Credit Union, Toyota Indiana, and Wabash Plastics. Our gold partners are CenterPoint Energy, the Cox Group, Cook Enterprises, and South Central Inc. Our silver partners are Evansville Regional Economic Partnership, Fifth Third Bank, Harding Szymanski and Company, Heritage Federal Credit Union, Indiana Members Credit Union, United Companies, and the University of Evansville. As well as our celebration partners, we are grateful for all of your support. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee led by JA board member Steve Tysing and the Laureate Selection Committee co-chaired by Ivy Tech Community College Evansville Campus, Daniela Vidal, University of Southern Indiana's Ron Rochon, and the University of Evansville's Christopher Petroskevich. Also joining us this morning to assist with the induction are JA student ambassadors from New Tech Institute, Aiden Rokiki, Jaylena Scott, Serenity Bell, and Tony Hines. Thank you for joining us today. At our tables are copies of Evansville Business Magazine featuring our 2024 laureates in a detachable pull-out magazine. As well as our generous partners, thank you to Tucker Publishing for your collaboration in providing this keepsake for all of our attendees. Today we gather to celebrate George Mesker, Leah Curry, and Llyod Winnecke, three remarkable leaders who embody Junior Achievement's mission to inspire and equip students for success in the global economy. And over the course of the morning, I encourage you to celebrate the impact your presence has on the young people of Southwestern Indiana and Southeastern Illinois, and the pivotal role Junior Achievement plays in cultivating our region's future leaders. Your generosity and your gifts support the vital JA programs in financial literacy, career, and post-secondary readiness, and entrepreneurship that are annually delivered by more than 1,200 dedicated community volunteer role models. JA's project-based learning provides the training and the inspiration necessary to bolster the chances for student success. Without our volunteers and business and community partners, Junior Achievement literally could not do what it does every day to serve our young people. Many of our JA champions are here with us today. Please stand if you have ever supported JA in any way, whether as volunteers, board members, investors, educators, or alumni. Your commitment to our youth's development is shaping tomorrow's leaders and fostering a brighter world for all. We are so grateful to all of you for your investment in the future. Will you please stand? I know it's early, but thank you so much. And now please welcome Junior Achievement of Southwestern Indiana President and CEO Marcia Forston. Let's bring Marcia to the stage.
What do you believe? Do you believe that better begins now? That everyone deserves a chance? That the proof is in the doing? And that failing isn't something to fear? Do you believe that kindness can be a superpower? That we can accomplish more together than apart? While the truth may hurt, it's a pain we sometimes need to feel. Do you believe in the indomitable power of perseverance? That work, hope, and love are four-letter words we should say in front of the kids, and that education remains the best path forward for most. At Junior Achievement, we believe this too. With your help, we can give young people the skills and support they need to achieve their potential and become the best versions of themselves.
Work, hope, and love. To become better versions of themselves. I love that. Thank you, Brad, and thank you so much for your many, many years, 19 years of service to this amazing opportunity to celebrate leaders in this community. We are so grateful. Good morning. I am absolutely delighted to see all of you on this beautiful May morning. On behalf of the Board of Directors, our advisory boards, and our staff, we are so grateful for your continued support and investment in our region's future. I'd also like to offer our appreciation to Kurt Molander, VP General Manager at Eyewitness News, WEHT, WTVW, who donated their services to produce today's amazing JA Hall of Fame videos. Special thanks to Aaron Carnell, Creative Services Director, Brody Schaefer, Olivia Poland, and Keith Harper, editors and videographers, say that 5 times fast. And of course, thank you to our own Stan Newman, Director Extraordinaire. Today, we celebrate excellence. In the laureates we honor, and the young people they inspire. We are privileged to induct 3 extraordinary servant leaders into the JA Evansville Regional Business Hall of Fame. To our 2024 laureates and your families, I extend my deepest gratitude and heartfelt congratulations. Your legacy of leadership serves as a guiding light, inspiring generations to come. You are role models for the students we serve and for all of us. Thank you for your remarkable contributions to our region's success. Imagine a world where every student has a belief in himself and a sense of purpose, not unlike the stories you're going to hear about our laureates. Imagine a world where every child sees the connection between what she is learning in school and her future success. Junior Achievement addresses the one question every child wants to know: what do I need to do, and what do I need to know to be successful? I'm delighted to share with you that superintendents both nationally and locally tell us that Junior Achievement's evidence-based curriculum delivered by volunteer mentors is important, not only by helping students become career and post-secondary ready financially capable, and entrepreneurially minded, they tell us junior achievement builds the foundation for developing life skills, including critical thinking, teamwork, communication and collaboration, decision-making, informed risk-taking, and the building of character that are critical for success in the workplace and in life. I can't begin to tell you how much this support and endorsement means to us as we work together to meet our community's unique objectives. And you, our volunteer mentors, you are the secret sauce. Not only do you prepare students through our rigorous JA curriculum, you also inspire them by bringing your real-world experiences and sharing your career journey to show them that anything is possible. Debbie Garrison is CIO of Berry Global and serves as our board chair. Since 2010, Debbie has taught 72 JA classes. I bet you didn't know that, did you, Debbie? A few years back, Debbie taught JA Personal Finance, which is a high school program that covers all aspects of financial literacy and careers, and the impacts of choices today and the impact of your future financial freedom. Fast forward a few years later, Debbie runs into a young woman who recognized her as her JA volunteer and told her that because of Debbie and what she learned from her JA program, she was able to move out of her parents' home and move out on her own and financially support herself. She said that because of JA and because of you, Debbie, she had now the skill set and the mindset to know what to do and to have the confidence that she could do it. There are thousands of these stories of folks just like you changing lives and making a difference in this world. That's the power of our volunteers. That's the power of junior achievement. Debbie will tell you, as all volunteers will tell you, it's easy to teach JA and deeply rewarding. I second that, but don't take our word for it. Check this out.
Hi, my name's Blake. What's yours?
My name's Cedric.
Cedric, have I got an investment opportunity for you? Imagine being a part of something that pays tremendous dividends well into the future. And the best part is, it won't cost you a dime, just some of your time. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, is this some sort of pyramid scheme? No, by taking a few hours of your time to visit a classroom or learning facility, you can share your support when it comes to managing money, your career journey, or even how to start or run a business. You can give young people like me the support, information, and resources we need to reach our potential as adults. Did I mention it only takes a little of your time as a Junior Achievement volunteer? And Junior Achievement provides all the support and materials you need to do it. So, do we have a deal?
We got a deal. I eat. That was awesome. All right, I wasn't ready for that.
Now, who's going to say no to Blake? We invite you to join us. Because of you, our investors, volunteer mentors, and education partners, Junior Achievement of Southwestern Indiana was able to reach more than 20,000 students in our 15-county region this school year. Because of you, students have a clearer vision of their path and the technical and life skills they need to succeed. Because of you, our region continues to grow stronger. Our gratitude knows no bounds. And now, the reason we are all here, prepare to be energized and inspired. It is my great pleasure to introduce Daniela Vidal, Chancellor, Ivy Tech Community College, Evansville campus, and co-chair of the 2024 Laureates Selection Committee. Let's get this party started. Please welcome Chancellor Vidal.
Thank you, Marcia, and good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? Hope the coffee is kicking in by now. Thanks, Marcia and the JA team. You really make this very easy for us to coordinate or to host and co-lead this wonderful event that you put together every year. It is really our truly privilege to be here with you today. I am honored to serve as a co-chair of this Laureate Selection Committee with my fellow university leaders, Ron Rochon, with the University of Southern Indiana President, and Chris Petroskevich, with the University of Evansville President. Together, we have the distinct privilege to lead the committee of nearly 50 past laureates and community leaders from across the region. Our collective goal is to identify and honor the most impactful leaders from the past and the present. The laureate selection process is multi-phased, it's very thoughtful, and extremely inspiring. It's probably one of my best activities of the year to come together and learn about these amazing people we have in our community. It starts with nominations from all of you, so please keep them coming. We recognize individuals who have left a significant mark in their respective fields and communities throughout our region. These nominations are carefully and rigorously reviewed by the Junior Achievement Laureate Selection Committee. The selection process is a true testament to the dedication and commitment of both the community and the committee members to acknowledge and celebrate those who have made a significant difference in the region and beyond. And I can tell you, each member takes this task very seriously. They bring us a whole profile of each of these nominations, and it's a truly inspiring morning. The 2024 Junior Achievement Evansville Regional Business Hall of Fame laureates for this year are George L. Mesker. He was with us from 1857 to 1936, and he was the founder and president of George L. Mesker and Company. And again, in reading the history of all the things that he did for Evansville and really the country, it's truly amazing the huge mark he left in our community. Of course, I was very honored to announce Leah Curry, President Emerita of Toyota Indiana, and again, a great role model and friend and somebody that needs little introduction. As well as our next laureate, I'm sure everybody knows him very well in this room, Llyod Winnecke, our CEO of Evansville Regional Economic Partnership and immediate past mayor of the city of Evansville. I am sure we all agree that these are three incredible people that have left a huge mark in our community. So on behalf of the Laureate Selection Committee and our region, thank you for your outstanding leadership and contribution that you have made in making our world better. Like those who came before them, these laureates exemplify bold thinking and action, inspiring leadership, and a spirit of generosity that sets the standard for future generations. Several past laureates are with us today as well. Please stand so that we may recognize you and express our appreciation for your visionary work and philanthropic efforts that have profoundly shaped our region. Please stand, our past laureates. I know you're here. I am truly honored to be part of recognizing these individuals this morning. Like their fellow laureates before them, they are dedicated to ensuring the prosperity of our region, not just today, but for generations to come. And now, one of our favorite parts of this breakfast every year, I'm sure everybody agrees with me that these videos are really the highlight of these events and really, really inspiring. So without further ado, I'll leave you with our first video of this morning, George Mesker. Thank you.
George Mesker's father, John Bernard Mesker, was born in Germany on February 22, 1823. He came to America in 1835. Settling in Cincinnati, John trained as a tinner, a craftsman who worked with small sheets of iron dipped into molten tin. In 1844, at the age of 21, John struck out on his own, making trips up and down the Ohio and Mississippi rivers, stopping at small towns, selling hardware, stoves, sheet metal, and provided repair services from a flatboat he built. In 1850, John decided to move to Evansville, Indiana, having formed a good impression with the town during a visit with his brother, a local grocer, Henry Mesker. John opened a store where he produced stoves, copper, tin, sheet ironware, and eventually began galvanizing iron for buildings, later being credited for introducing iron cornices to the city. Around 1870, 20 years later, John moved his store to the corner of Market Street and Court Street, and 4 years later changed its name to J.B. Mesker and Son. The company flourished into the 1890s, provided a fertile training ground for his sons, all of whom attended private and business schools to help with the family trade.
It was a peaceful place to do business. It wasn't part of the hustle and bustle of the East. And many of them saw Evansville as a valley of opportunity, like the slogan was in the 60s, that this place had an abundance of natural resources, wood, farmland, water. So you had people like the Cooks, you had people like the Eigelharts that started their flour mill, later D. Meade Johnson with cornmeal and baby formula. So the Meskers were just like many of these other people with an entrepreneurial spirit and a knowledge of manufacturing. They saw this place as a valley of opportunity. The Evansville Brickworks produced most of the bricks that built the factories in town. So really, Evansville was a city unto itself. It truly made almost everything that it needed. There was no real reason to import anything.
In 1912, brothers Ben and Frank Mesker opened the Mesker Brothers Iron Works in St. Louis, so not to compete with their brother George in the same town, to own George L. Mesker and Company in Evansville. Both companies became very successful. The company's products are often referred to as Meskers. The companies also produce tin ceilings, iron railings, stairs, roof cresting, ventilation grates, iron awnings, skylights, and freight elevators. In 1915, Mesker storefronts were in every state, including 4,130 in Indiana, 2,915 in Illinois, 2,646 in Kentucky, and even 17 in the territory of Alaska. Ben Mesker, co-owner of Mesker Brothers Ironworks in St. Louis, passed away on January 23, 1936. His brother George, owner of George L. Mesker and Company, passed away on October 31st of the same year. In 1900, George Mesker had given his hometown 40 rugged and beautiful acres of land for a park. In 1915, he gave the city a check for $25,000 to buy adjoining lands. At his death, a third gift was revealed. It was to lift Mesker Park out of the ranks of the average city parks and place it on a high plateau. George Mesker's final gift to Evansville was $750,000. It stipulated that $500,000 was to be spent for improving or purchasing additional property for Mesker Park. It also established a trust fund of $250,000. The income from this trust was to be spent on music in Mesker Park or in other parks of the city. The city not only accepted the gift, but created a parks board to manage the new property. Also at the time of his death, George Mesker bequeathed $53,000 to 63 of his employees. Employees who served 10 years received $1,000, and those with 5 years received $500. The $1,000 gift would be equivalent to $25,000 today.
I think that people like George Mesker, who left Evansville a legacy of money, of land, did so because they recognized where their success came from. I think many times the wealthy people of that time recognized and valued their roots. Any American city you can look at came from the blood, sweat, and tears of families. These were people who worked really hard and repaid their community with sizable donations and legacies that give us the things that we take advantage of today.
Today, Mesker Park is one of the finest outdoor properties in the nation and the pride of the tri-state. One has to wonder what would be on that land today had it not been for George Mesker.
Well, I always enjoy those videos of the historical recipients. I learn a lot, and it's amazing what some of the early people did for our community. You know, I think George Mesker, of course, is well known for the many things he left for the city, but he instilled that spirit of giving, I think, with people around him. There was a man named Henry Cook who was the general manager of Mesker. He left in 1937 to start his own business, Cook Convertograph, and some other real estate ventures. But Henry donated the land for the Girl Scouts Camp Cook. So he learned from George and carried on that spirit. And I hope that and I see that it does continue today with many of us. There was one thing I wish I would have learned from George that I saw as I was looking through the material for this. His will that left the money to the city was executed in Palm Beach, Florida, and was witnessed by John Fendrick and Tony Holman. Bob, I think we did ours in our office, and it was witnessed by a couple of coworkers. We may need to revise our wills and do it again right, like George did. Well, receiving the award today for Mesker Park Zoo is Eric Beck. Eric is an Evansville native, graduated from Memorial High School, University of Southern Indiana, and has been with the zoo for 29 years. He started as a second shift zookeeper. Now he's the executive director of both the zoo and the Zoological Society. He's transformed the zoo from being a place where you kept animals in cages to where now they live in a pretty natural habitat, and there are many, many educational programs that are put on by the zoo. TripAdvisor says the zoo is one of the top 5 attractions in the Evansville area. So please welcome Eric Beck to accept the award on behalf of the zoo and to offer some remarks for us.
All right, thank you for that very generous introduction, Jim. I really appreciate that. And thank you for JA for being so generous and the invitation to Mesker Park Zoo and my zoo team for coming out to represent George Mesker and all that he did for our community. And I think that's a thread that we can see with all these laureates as we go through the morning's presentations, that they all had a theme of giving back, whether it's a philanthropic give back of large tracts of land that ended up becoming zoos and amphitheaters and parks, to serving on boards, to running for office. So giving back is really, I think, a theme here, and I think we can all take that back with us, that we shape our community. People in this room, our friends and family, we all make a contribution for generations to come. So I think, thank you again for supporting this, and really appreciate it.
My father started out at Imge's, a meat packing company in Fort Branch, and he carved beef for a living. And he always had this desire to open up a high-end seafood and steak restaurant. It was around 1972 when he started this restaurant in a little bitty town of Hopstead. And it was extremely risky. So Dad went all in and made it a successful business. My mom went back to school many, many times to get her nurse practitioner's license, and she was one of the first nurse practitioners in the state of Indiana. She had to go all the way to Georgia and drive home on the weekends. And we had 7 children in our family. Hopsa was a very small town. Everyone knew each other. You could go out on your bikes and ride for days. I cherish my childhood. I think it was a wonderful time growing up. All of us children worked at the restaurant, and you learned early on how to be independent, have your own money, make your own mistakes, right and wrong, but you also learn how to work hard. I knew I was not going to be a long-term person that was working at the restaurant. I was really interested in chemistry and math, and I wanted to be a chemist. So I started going to school at the University of Evansville for chemistry. And then at that time, I actually got on at Mead Johnson.
Leah's 17-year career at Mead Johnson fostered her curiosity and love of learning by providing her with opportunities to explore and grow multiple aspects of advanced engineering.
I decided after 17 years at Bristol-Myers to take the leap and start all over at Toyota. And this was an entry-level job. I took a $20,000 cut in pay to start as a maintenance team leader in the body weld shop. And this was something I knew nothing about. I had never welded before in my life. Body weld is the highest technical shop in the whole plant. It has, right now there's over 1,000 robots there. And there's a lot of movement that happens to be able to weld the vehicle together.
Leah actually started as an advanced manufacturing technician a year before the plant opened.
I remember the first time I ever met Leah, and I was down in the body weld shop working on a problem with somebody, and we needed maintenance support. Leah walked into the room, in charge with a tool belt over her shoulder and her hard hat and glasses and steel-toe boots on, and took control of the situation and, immediately started helping solve the problem. And that's Leah, always has been Leah.
Leah worked in many different roles: production, maintenance, engineering, and administration. She had the opportunity to go to Japan to train and benchmark at multiple plants all around the world. After becoming vice president of operations at Toyota of Indiana, her boss came to her and asked her if she would like to go to West Virginia, where they make engines and transmissions.
I decided at that point it was a great opportunity. Years after I was there the 3 years. So then I had an opportunity to come back to Toyota, Indiana as the president, which I was very thrilled about.
When we heard the announcement that Leah was coming back as our president of our plant, we were all so excited. I mean, this is somebody who we grew up with together. We learned the roles of a group leader, manager, senior manager, all of those things together. We had been in the trenches, figuring out how to solve problems, always going after that improvement idea, and it was so refreshing to get Leah back. We knew that we were going to be under just great leadership.
She has really taken us to the next level. She's on the shop floor. People approach her, talk to her, interact with her. So she's the same Leah that she was when I first met her 26 years ago.
When I came back, I was not afraid at all. I had to really prove myself all over again. And I needed to really just on a daily basis prove that I was capable of doing the job.
Toyota cares deeply about the communities in which the team members live and raise their families, and began on day one generously supporting organizations across the region. Under Leah's leadership, that continued commitment to investing in the region led to one of their most recent major gifts in support of the new YMCA in Princeton, which will serve the county's citizens for generations to come. To date, since opening their Gibson County plant in 1996, Toyota has given more than $39 million to organizations throughout our region.
Well, Toyota Indiana, our big brother to the south, I think Leah continued that tradition of what Toyota has meant to Princeton as a community and Gibson County as a county.
My advice I always give to not only our youth, but also the parents is try to have an internship program, try to go to summer programs, try to go to career days, When you bring your child to work days, those were always fun. Those are things that people need to understand, that it's important that you give them many opportunities to experience a lot of different types of skills.
What it means to have the confidence to move forward in a career. And it's been phenomenal watching her mentor others in that space and see other women get the opportunity to grow in manufacturing or in any career.
Good morning, everyone. It's been a very special morning catching up with so many friends. My name is Norm Buffuno. I'm very honored to be here to recognize these outstanding 2024 Hall of Fame laureates. First, I would like to give a big thank you to Junior Achievement and this wonderful organization, the leader, Marcia Forston, and the many volunteers here in attendance for providing the impactful, the foundational, and the transformational education to so many young people in this area. You are all making a big difference in these communities. I have known Leah Curry for more than 27 years. She is one of the people you meet in life that has those attributes you just want to emulate. She is an amazing daughter, an amazing sister, wife, mother, aunt, and grandmother. Family is so important to Leah. Leah has an incredible capacity to learn, an amazing work ethic, strong leadership skills, and always puts people first. You know, when I think about all these attributes that allowed Leah to grow in our company and to lead some of our largest manufacturing operations, both in West Virginia as president and here at Indiana, all of that was Leah's great doing. And in recent years, she was also leading all of our North American operations cost planning activities. And that's more than 14 North American facilities. And you know, at the same time, her tenacity to prepare Toyota Indiana for decades to come was solidified when the Princeton plant was recently awarded the new Lexus product, the TX. You know, this distinction to produce a Lexus is earned. And Leah was proud to secure this very important product by getting board approval in Japan by highlighting the many accomplishments of the men and women at TMMI. Lastly, Lisa, my good friend Lisa. Lastly, Leah, your passion to promote technical manufacturing careers to young people remained a priority throughout her entire career. The time she spent personally to talk to middle school and high school students, especially girls, counselors, educators, parents, has encouraged many young people to consider the many benefits associated with these important careers. What an amazing legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating 2024 Hall of Fame inductee Leah Curry.
Well, you're all going to make me cry, I'll tell you. It's difficult to receive this award. Thank you, Norm, Marcia, and all the inductees who paved the way so many years, as we've seen, and George Mesker. It's extremely humbling to be a part of this inductee team. When Daniela first called me, I go, "Are you sure? Do you want to rethink this?" And it was the exact same day I was announcing my retirement, which was bizarre. I go, "You know, I'm retiring. Are you sure?" And she kept going, yes, we're sure. It goes through a lot of different levels of approval. I'm like, okay. So then Marcia and her team sent me and Stacy, my extraordinary corporate comms person who's over there, the vignettes of the past winners, and I was like, oh my. I still don't feel worthy. And then I had to go to my mom's basement full of really old dusty boxes full of pictures to find some pictures. And of course, it's not very organized. I wanted to organize it for you, Mom, but that would have took weeks. But again, it is sort of a trip down memory lane. So I've never achieved anything on my own. Any success I have achieved has been because I've been very blessed to be a part of amazing teams. And I like to think of these teams as family. First, my personal family. Second, my Toyota family. Third, the community and our business partner family. My personal family, as you saw in the video, I'm one of 7 siblings, and there was only like 1 bathroom. So getting ready for school in the morning was total chaos. And I don't know how my mom and dad survived that, but there's a known quote: if you have 1 child, you're a parent, you become a parent. If you have 2 or more, you're a referee. And my parents were professional referees, I'll have to say that. And then Dave and I were blessed with 4 amazing children and now many grandchildren. One is here today, Sawyer. And they're the light of my life. And I had to make many sacrifices through my career. I missed many events, sports events, family events, because I worked all kinds of different shifts, weekends, nights, holidays, even left a few vacations to go to Japan. But these sacrifices taught me, and I hope my children, that life is not always as you plan it, but you don't know why you're going through what you're going through at the time to prepare you for the future. Because difficult and different types of experiences teach us so many lessons. And later in my career, because I had experienced a lot of this, I could relate better to my team members who were both parents worked or single parents and they were working night shift. I could relate better to team members working nights that couldn't go to a lot of their sporting events. And together, with our leadership team at Toyota, which is one of the best, we did come up with different solutions to help them with more time off and more flexible schedules. But it's about having empathy and understanding their situation, and sometimes you need to experience that. And you just don't know, again, what all those experiences are doing for you, but it's really building your character and your leadership skills for the future. And my colleagues and I at Toyota family, we're built on respect for people and continuous improvements. And we always wanted to challenge each other's thinking way, because your perspective is really shaped by your own experiences and what you've learned and what you've went through. But we needed to all think differently because we're making big decisions that can impact over 8,000 people. And we had to have passionate but respectful discussions in order for us to understand what these decisions were going to do and make sure we didn't have any unintended consequences. And I would always try as president to talk to every new hire group and tell them, we want an inclusive environment where you feel safe and you can say every voice is heard. Because if we have over 8,000 people coming through the door and we only get 1,000 ideas, then we're leaving all the solutions and problem solving on the table. And you're going to feel much more valued if you can speak up and your voice is heard. And this is the way that the team members can make their job safer, more productive, with high quality, and have fun and like going to work. So that is really the mantra that we have. And then finally, our business community and our community leaders. Worked with so many people in this room. And I like the phrase, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole, which means that something is more valuable, effective, or impressive when its components work together than when they're separate. And I do believe we've pulled together over the last many years to be able to make our tri-state area, our beautiful southern Indiana area, a much better place to live, work, and play. And the next inductee, who knows a lot about that as well. And I've had the privilege to work with him and so many of them. And Toyota has participated in Junior Achievement, this wonderful organization, over so many years. And we've had many volunteers that go into the classroom and teach, what is it like in the business world? What is handling your money all about? How do you apply it? And Richard Nagasi, one of our newer executives, just told me he's teaching 5 classes, so good job, Richard. And Junior Achievement's motto is, we believe in possible. Each day we work to help young people discover what's possible in their lives. And quite frankly, Toyota, we had a motto of start your impossible. So whatever you think is possible or impossible, you can achieve it by taking one step at a time, setting goals, working hard, and seek advice along the way. And Llyod is one of my favorite people I look up to, and he's a great coach and even greater leader. And I'll leave you with this. This is what he always says in his life. I follow 3 rules. Do the right thing, do the best you can, and always show people you care. You got to make a sincere attempt to have the right goals to begin with, then go after them with appropriate effort. And remember that you can't really achieve anything without the great help, without the great help of others. Thank you, and God bless.
My father was born and raised on the west side of Evansville, went to Wrights High School, and worked at Meade Johnson, worked there for many years. In the late 1950s, he met my mom. Mom worked there also. My sisters and I had, I think, a really normal childhood. We grew up 3 blocks north of North Park in a house that was built by Guthrie May in 1961. In high school, I was a nerd, plain and simple. I loved theater. I was Eddie in The Courtship of Eddie's Father. I was Winthrop in The Music Man my sophomore year. Directed a 1-act play by Neil Simon my senior year. And I was on the journalism staff. I went to the University of Evansville and was a communication major. I loved my internship at Channel 14, and that really hooked me even more, and that started me on an 18-year career in broadcast news.
Have you heard Bird?
In another News Center 25 exclusive, victims
We're live, and the scene is very intense. Police storm.
If you haven't heard Bird, you don't know the news. News Center 25 anchors aren't hosts, they're award-winning reporters. Shannon Hurd and Brad Bird dig deeper.
News Center 25 is committed to bringing you the news firsthand.
So we go out and get it.
Have you heard Bird? They're coming on for you at 5, 6, and 10 on News Center 25.
Being a news director is a challenge because every day is different. You may have a story meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, and by 10, 5 things have happened that you had not planned on at all. That's part of the thrill I got out of it personally, is that the exhilaration of that profession was really something that really was driving for me.
Llyod and I met through work. I was the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Evansville, and Llyod was working as a news reporter, and so he would often come in and try to find the stories.
A few years later, she was really, really good friends with one of my sisters, and Carol was single, and she would say to my sister, I need an escort to some event, and my sister would say, just ask Llyod, he'll be in town. He likes going to that kind of stuff.
We started out with an event at Wellburn, and then we went to several other things. It developed into more than a friendship, but became a very loving relationship.
I had an opportunity to do something totally different. A good friend of mine was the CEO of what was Citizens Bank. They were acquiring other banks, they were expanding. They needed to change their name. They needed someone to lead that marketing effort. And I had a chance to do something totally different. And did that for 13 years. And that time at the bank really gave me a sense of great satisfaction. I got a taste of what corporate life was like. And I really became intrigued by how corporations worked, how business worked.
I first met Llyod Winnecke when I came to town. I'd been here maybe a month or two. He reached out to me, we got together, he was at Fifth Third as the head of marketing, just wanted to introduce himself. Any interaction with Llyod wasn't about competition, it was really about what we can do together to better the community. He makes you feel very comfortable in any conversation. He listens so well, he wants to know more about you, and he just builds great camaraderie. Even though we worked for different institutions, we had the same goal in mind, which is what can we do to make a better Evansville?
I always loved politics. I loved politics since I was a senior in high school and I went door to door for my government teacher, David Kaler, who was running for Congress. When Mayor Weinzapfel announced he was not going to seek a third term, it opened up a lot of opportunities. I had never, and I mean ever, had any designs to be the mayor of the city of Evansville.
The city needed a leader to follow Jonathan. I was the one that looked at him and said, you've got to run. You're the man.
Llyod came to me when he first decided to run for mayor. And he said, I'd like to know a little bit more about what's happening. What are the real challenge areas within our community? So I took him for about 3.5 hours and we drove around various neighborhoods around the city. The leaders that you really want are those that think about what it is that we can do to put ourselves in a position to change the community, to make it better. And Llyod is one of those kind of leaders.
When Llyod announced he was going to run for mayor, if I could do cartwheels, I would have, but cartwheels and me don't go well together. But he was the perfect person for us. He's a great cheerleader, he's a great team builder, he's a great visionary, and more importantly, he cares deeply, deeply about his hometown. You look at the impact that Llyod has had on this community, whether it's the downtown development, the work he's done in the neighborhoods, and he's done a great job. In today's environment, when there's so much acerbic attitude, you've got a guy that has shined and done phenomenal things just being a really nice person. So good guys do win.
Really successful cities approach economic development and community development from a regional mindset. If we had success here, that meant success for Princeton and Boonville and Henderson. And likewise, if there's a big win in Henderson or Boonville or Princeton, it helps Evansville. But I would tell young people this, and I use this a lot when I speak to schools. You may know as an 8th grader or as a junior in high school what you think you want to do when you grow up. And that's fine, but at some point you're going to have an opportunity that you've never considered. Opportunity is going to knock. I never thought I would work at a bank. And I certainly never thought that I would be the mayor of the city of Evansville. But in 2 different distinct times in my life, opportunity knocked. And I opened the door, and I'm really glad I did.
Well, I think Llyod has made contributions to the city of Evansville, large and small. I would say the overriding thing that he has done is help create, with the E is for Evansville, an attitude and a feeling about Evansville that's very positive.
I must be at the wrong spot. I thought I was at the taping for Truth or Consequences. But we'll make the most of it, okay, folks? We'll have audience participation. If you were born in Evansville, Indiana, I want you to stand. Born in Evansville, Indiana, everybody stand. Okay. Okay, we got a few. Now, if you were born in Evansville, Indiana, and you went to high school and graduated from a high school in Evansville, Indiana, stay standing. Okay, we see a few drifters. If you were born in Evansville and you went to high school in Evansville and you went to the University of Evansville and majored in communications, stay standing. Okay, a few less people. Now, if you meet all that criteria and you've been the wonderful Republican mayor of Evansville for 12 years, stand tall, or as tall as you can. Okay, we got one left. And if anybody in this audience supports E for Evansville, I want you to stand and applaud the JA Business Hall of Fame inductee, Llyod Winnecke. Here. Wait a minute. Okay. I don't think I can sit. I'll have to stand.
Huh. I was asked who I would like to introduce me, and I said Linda White. And then I thought about it for 24 hours. But the invitation had already been extended, so I couldn't reel it back in. Wow. Thank you, Linda. I knew it was going to be something. I didn't know what. A quick story about Stan Newman. You saw it very briefly, but I had a beer in my hand in the video when Carol and I were out on the balcony. I've known Stan for 35 years, and I've always teased him about the profiles that he does, that the people he profile almost always have a glass of red wine. You know, they're in front of a fireplace or on a balcony or something. So he thought that I needed to have a glass of red wine, so it was 11 a.m. I said a beer, but I had to go back to work. I never drank the beer. I had to leave. Stan goes, well, you're not going to throw that away, are you? I said, well, yeah. He goes, I'll drink it. So Stan sat there and drank my beer as Carol did her work, and I went back to work. This is all very overwhelming. I first got interested in business when I had a paper route. Maybe 10, 12 years old, I don't know. I love the idea of providing a service to people. I love the idea of going door to door, not asking for votes yet, but to collect, and then trying to figure out how much money I could make. At that age, that was really super fun. And over the years, I've just been intrigued by everything business does. For 12 years, we came to work every day to try and make the community a little better, to try and create an environment where businesses large and small can invest, reinvest, take risk, and succeed. Built good teams, had good fun, and embraced collaboration. As Leah said, all the good work that has occurs because we brought people together. The success that's given to me is really a tribute to the community who's bought into what we've been trying to do all these many years. And now to lead the organization that is the voice for business in our region is a real blessing. We have a super team all represented here today, and they come to work with the same attitude that we had at City Hall, to make our region stronger and to make our business community thrive. Leah, I did not go to the archives to look for the pictures of days gone by. Carol did that. They're very organized now. So I couldn't do what I've done for 12 years and what I continue to do now without my wonderful wife, life partner. We're going on our first official vacation since leaving office in 2 weeks, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. Thank you to JA, which is part of a wonderful network of nonprofit organizations that do so much to uplift our community and our region. I'm really blessed to have had all the roles I've had in my professional life. My personal life is a blessing beyond belief. Thank you to all of you who've been supporters and continue to come alongside for a great ride. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, what an incredible morning. I just think about these stories and how these folks have thought service over self, reinvented themselves so many times, embraced opportunity, made decisions that they weren't sure where they were headed, but learned from those. Oh my gosh, there's so many lessons that we learned today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Eric, Leah, and Llyod. Your messages of belief, hope, and promise have truly energized us all. And thank you to the Laureates Selection Committee for selecting such an outstanding class of leaders. Let's once again extend our congratulations to our 2024 J. Evansville Regional Hall of Fame Business Laureates.
We also want to thank our generous sponsors and partners one more time. Our presenting sponsor, Old National Bank, Diamond Partners, our Deaconess Health System, Liberty Federal Credit Union, Toyota, Indiana, and Wabash Plastics, Centerpoint Energy, the Cox Group, Cook Enterprises, and South Central Inc. was our gold partners. Our silver partners, Evansville Regional Economic Partnership, Fifth Third Bank, Harding, Szymanski and Company, Heritage Federal Credit Union, Indiana Members Credit Union, United Companies, and University of Evansville. As well as our celebration partners, we are grateful for all your support.
I'd also like to thank once again the students who are here today with us, Jacob Barnwell, Noah Patterson, and Aiden Rodicki. Thank you so much for your service today as well. And thank you, Brad, for your continued dedicated service over these 19 years. What a devoted you have been for all of us. And thank you to all of you for your very kind and generous support all these years. Your generosity has truly inspired possibilities in our youth as they evolve into the next leaders and even the next laureates.
And my apology, Mayor, I did not see that coming, the herd bird spot, but that was 40 years ago. A time it was. On behalf of all of us, thank you for sharing this celebration of leadership with us today. We look forward to seeing you again next May as we commemorate the induction of our 2025 laureates and the 20th J.A. Evansville Regional Business Hall of Fame. But before we go, we have one last bit of inspiration celebrating each of you. Take a look.
Because of you, I am more prepared for life after school.
I am more likely to graduate from high school.
Learn a trade.
Get a college degree.
An advanced degree.
Create a budget.
Stick with a budget.
Because of you, I know how to open a bank account.
Manage my money.
Manage your money.
That was great. Run a business.
Start my own business.
I'll be more likely to give back to my community.
And help others give back to theirs. Because of you, I'm more likely to get a good job.
An important job where I can make a difference.
Make a change.
Change the world.
Change the world.
Change the world.
Because of you.
Thank you all and see you next year.